Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Tim and Katie of Fatal Conceit. The band has just released a fantastic new track called Devil's Little Helper, as you can see in the background, and I am super excited to talk to them all about it, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your days to do this. What is up?
Hello, hello. I'm Tim. This is Katie. We're so stoked to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
So stoked for having you. Every good song deserves to be talked about. And
Aw.
for anyone that hasn't listened, this is an energetic one to say the least. It'll have you feeling all sorts of feelings by the end of it.
Oh,
I
it's
just
made of
want to.
fire.
It is made of fire. I want to hop right in. What is this song about? What does it mean to you?
Do you want to take this or shall I?
No, you can go, yeah.
So, a million years ago, I was in this band called Vox Ad Nil, and I was playing with this drummer named Hunter Grunwald. He's the fellow that wrote the song, and that was
Oh,
that band's like primary kickoff song. And that band broke up years ago, and I was like, man, I really just want to do it. So I asked him. We don't play in a band together anymore, but I asked him like, hey, can we use the song? He said, sure, with his blessing, and
that's
we,
nice.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's real nice.
Really unusual, and I'm like, I shot my shot, and he's like, cool. So he's like, it's effectively just a lament on a breakup, and
Hmm.
the sort of heartbreak that you experience when you trust somebody and they let you down in that kind of way. It's really an intense meditation on that.
Yeah. The three of us used to be in a band together too, so when we asked if we could play the song, he knew that we would keep it in what it was originally written as. I mean,
Mm,
we tweaked it a little bit, we made it a little bit heavier, but we definitely stayed with the original structure. We didn't change too much about it, and we kept the production to something that he would be happy with because he wrote the song.
nice.
But the song is pretty much about a girl or a relationship where this girl will change herself to make herself seem some kind of way to get like, so hypothetically, if a guy was super into music, like this girl would pretend to be into music to get this guy to like her more, kind of like that. So that's why
Been
it's
there.
like the devil's little helper, like you hide behind masks and all this kind of stuff for these lyrics. So it's a really great song.
Yeah.
Great and relatable, to say the
And
least. I
relatable.
think that
Yeah, I
goes
mean,
both ways in any sort of relationship.
yeah, anybody who's been burned in a relationship is going to be able to relate to this song.
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. And so it's not just you guys in the band. I'd love for you to shout out and give the names of the others who couldn't make it today because they
Yeah.
Yeah.
deserve
So
them as well.
shout out to Pizza Joe Blake.
Pizza Joe.
He's our lead guitarist. He's the other lefty in the group.
Hmm.
Nice.
And then our buddy James Bellina.
Yep, he plays drums.
Yeah,
Nice.
he blasts
He's our
blasts the
he's
beats.
our I was gonna say time machine, but I guess that doesn't really make sense.
Atomic clock.
Some sort of time machine.
Nice. Well, I hope to speak to him next time, but you guys are great at the moment. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
um,
we're trying.
you're doing a great job. I do want to talk about the production, and one thing that I will say, or actually a recommendation for all who haven't listened, is listen to this with a nice pair of headphones
Oh
Oh
yeah.
or
yeah.
like a nice sound system because
Or
there are
like in your
so many.
car.
Totally, there's so
Yeah,
many subtleties that you would miss otherwise if you're playing it out of a phone or laptop speakers. Like,
definitely.
did you have any hand in producing this, or like how? What was the process on that back end?
So we took a really interesting hybrid workflow. Usually most producers like to have it all kind of in their space, but
Okay.
we worked with this guy Kevin at the sound shop, Kevin Wesley Williams of West Mix. Big shout out to him.
Yeah.
He's great to work with. We tracked just the guitars in the space we're in right now at the home studio in my at our place,
Hmm.
and we tracked vocals, bass, the drums, and we did some retracking of guitars out at his facility, and then he did all the mixing in his facility over there at the sound shop, and it was mastered in Philadelphia by the Mastering House, which
Hmm.
was
Sweet.
they did incredible work as well. The his whole outfit is just really professional, excellent excellent technicians there.
Nice. Yeah, it came out amazing. Obviously, like
Thank
attributing it
you.
to you guys on the instrumentation and the way that you composed it, but like, damn, it pops in all the right moments when you really need it to. So,
He's got
congrats
some
to
like
those guys.
wizardry too. He's a
Yeah, man.
ninja.
Producing music is like speaking another language. It's like
Oh
you
yeah.
can make music, you can be proficient in playing an instrument, but like it's like speaking Chinese, man. If you know it, you know, and if you don't, you don't. Okay, one thing that I really do need to talk about is the genre and the genre influence. I love music. I love all kinds of music, but I could not nail down what this is. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. Sort of like the elevator
do
pitch
we
on
do
what
we
you would
even
call
know
it.
what it is?
That
We
makes
I would
me feel better, actually.
I
That
was
makes me
like,
Yeah.
feel a lot better.
well, we like so many different things. So
Sure,
I would
right.
say our music in general is very broad. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
we'll have one song that will remind you of one band, and then another song that's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming
Mhm.
from them. You know, that's a very different sound than this song. But
Okay.
it's good because you get a good mix of music. And so we're putting our album together, and it's not just going to be all of the same. You're going to get some texture and you're going to get some
Sure.
differences from track to track, and it's going to be fresh and new
Mhm.
every single time you go to a new song.
Yeah.
Um,
But if I could like try to boil it down, I'd want to call it something like an entry level metal or a like
Okay.
radio metal.
radio metal might be
Radio
just it
metal.
because like we love our Breaking Benjamins and Avenged Sevenfolds and
Sure.
our our Parkway Drives and our Godsmacks and that really I mean you can hear all of that in that sound, but it doesn't that guitar solo isn't characteristic of any of those bands except for maybe Avenged Sevenfold, right? So
Yeah.
it goes a little faster and a little harder than all of our influences.
Yeah, we've got really catchy choruses, but like really
Yeah.
hard hitting solos.
It's just
Really
spicy.
kind of like groovy bass lines if you think about
Sure.
it. The bass lines are
It's
pretty
just
groovy.
spicy.
It is pretty
Sure.
spicy.
Well, so how does it work within the band on like the vision and the sound? Is it a collective experience or is it like sort of a mashup of what you guys listen to on the
It
record?
didn't used to be collective. It was
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much the very beginning. So this is our sophomore appearance with We Write About Music, and the first song was just me at that time,
Yeah.
and me working with my producer, and it kind of shows there's there's not as much eclecticness to that sound. So since then, uh, this whole lineup, aside from James, is new. So Katie and Joe came in, and it became the collective group and became more of a democratized, and it really enhanced the sound. The benefits have been amazing of that, just like not being the Tim show.
Yeah, so in taking back the
Yeah.
name, Tim wrote all the parts for that, but now that we're the four piece that we write and kind of create our own parts to add to the songs instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I
it's a
mean,
much
Tim
better
is
process.
proficient in every instrument, so when he like shells out a song to bring to the band, it's pretty much complete.
That's
So
nice of you, but some
it's
of
a
it's a
good.
little.
There's
You
a,
can tell it's Tim playing, and it's not always a good thing.
yeah, but Joe's really good. He writes all of his solos.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
goodness for Joe.
Yeah, James kind of tweaks the drum part, and you know he all the drums. That's all him.
Yeah. Yep.
Does
Start
it
to
does a
finish.
song always start a certain way or is it like, hey, I thought of this riff or hey, I got a lyric and let's figure it out?
It's usually one of those two.
Yeah.
Either a super catchy riff, or we'll come up with an idea of like a concept for a song that we'll really like.
Oh,
And we're writing lyrics together more now that we're writing new music.
Hmm.
Tim brought in a lot of songs from, you know, his past and just songs that he's carried from him.
Yeah.
But
You just write a lot. You just write a lot. So you bring a lot, and everybody's got kind of a pretty extensive palette of material to bring to the table, which is
that's never a
always
bad
fantastic.
thing.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
yeah,
Really
we're
simplifies
never.
the
It seems like we're
process.
never running out of concepts to write about either. So
Yeah.
we'll just, you know, find something that inspires us that day and just kind of roll with
Totally.
it. We've got what, like 10 open Logic files going right now of
At least
songs that we're
at
working
least.
on. We're just
Sure.
like, let's jump over here, let's jump back over here.
Right. Well, that's kind of the tough part about writing music is you feel like everything's kind of been said already.
Oh yeah.
And so nowadays it's just your interpretation of the situation.
Like,
Like
how
you,
are
you
you
can
going
be
to say it now?
totally, you can be topical, you can talk about super niche things that like happened, but realistically, like, I don't know, I think your music, the focus is brought by the instrumentation and it really like it takes a smart listener to get in there and really understand what you're
Sure
talking
appreciate
about.
that.
So yeah, man, I mean, it's oh yes. And
The
we have
band
special
cat,
guest.
buddy.
This is Buddy.
What's up, buddy? My cat is on the other side of the store, probably wanting to get in right now. So
I don't know how he got in here, but he did, so here he is.
no worries.
Oh,
Fifth,
hi,
fifth,
Buddy.
fifth and integral member of the band.
Yeah.
It's true.
Totally. So, sort of the obvious question here is this is your guys' second single. I can only assume that you have more on the way. do you have sort of a path of how you want to go about putting out more music?
I
You
think
don't have to get too specific, by the way, if you don't
we've
want.
No,
just
it's
made a
okay.
decision about this in the last like 48 hours too, so I'm glad you
Yeah,
asked.
Okay.
we thought that our next single was going to be a certain song, and then
Oh,
we re-listened to another song, and we were like, "Ooh, that should be our next
Well, I
single."
pitched it for the performance. I'm like, hey, we've got time on the set. Let's do this next song that we
yeah.
haven't tried yet. And Joe was like, wow, that one's way better than the one we're recording right now. Why don't we
Yeah,
do that one instead? I'm like, because we're recording another one. He's like, let's do both. So,
yeah. So
oh,
currently
wow, we're
we're
doing
recording
both.
two songs
All
right
right.
now. So
Is
we're
that
gonna release "Under the Ashes" is gonna be our next single, which we debuted at our show last night, and
oh,
then
sweet.
yep, "This Machine" to follow, which we also debuted last night.
Okay. Now that you've gone through this process, like you've gone from the, oh, let's make a song to the actually clicking submit button, is there
Hmm.
something that you look forward to the most in making music?
That's tough. Well, until recently, it had always been like the reaction to the performance. But uh, you join a bunch of bands, you release a bunch of music, and nobody seems to notice, right? Until
Yeah,
very recently, we've gotten some really great feedback finally, and that's the part that I've been really
well,
relishing. The traction that Devil's Little Helper has gotten has been pretty different from what we've experienced in the past, and it just warms my heart.
Yeah, I would say that our songs are very lyric heavy, and pretty much every single song that we have tells a story in some capacity, or
Mhm.
it's something that people can relate to.
sure.
So I think something that I look forward to personally when we write a song is after you play a show, those people come up to us because they listen to your music and they really connect with a certain song and they know the lyrics. I mean,
Oh yeah.
last night at the show, we just saw what, 20 or 30 people screaming our lyrics
They were
back at
singing
us,
along
and
with
that
us.
was
I'm like,
like the
wow,
first time that
I
That's
don't
that
think I've ever seen you
happened.
before, dude. I'm so
right.
glad
You
that you
know,
like sang that.
people who I've never even met before, I'm looking at them all.
There's no way you're guessing these words.
And I'm like,
That is
don't cry, don't
wild.
cry, don't cry.
I was gonna say like, so I will say that I do not play in a band. I strictly, listen and just a music enjoyer. But
Hmm.
I can only imagine one of the best feelings in the world is seeing people enjoying you play your music and singing your words back. Like if someone was
Yeah.
to ask me that question, that would be the number one answer. So to witness that has to like
Yes.
give you all the butterflies.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
every
different
bit.
kind of
Dude,
love.
yeah.
It's just a different kind of
Seriously.
love because it's unconditional almost. It's
Right.
like, I feel like we could write or play a shitty song or we could mess up on stage and,
Yeah,
that love would just still be there.
totally.
It's super sweet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about building a core audience. And nowadays,
Yep.
where music is, released every single day, it's really
Yeah.
easy to
Moment
forget.
of every
Like,
day.
yeah, did you know 60,000 songs are uploaded to Spotify every single day? So
Oh
it's
my
like,
Whoa.
gosh.
if one person can listen to you and say, "Yep, that's my new favorite band," like I
Yeah,
found it,
exactly.
keep them, do whatever you can.
Yeah. And I
Amazing.
love our fans too. I mean, I think everybody in our band, we love our fans so much. A lot
Yeah,
of them are really, really good friends of ours. They
sure.
come to every single show, but we're always super inclusive. Like anytime somebody new comes around and they're super in, like we come in the inner circle,
Yeah,
we introduce them to like all of our close friends, so they feel like they're a part of a family when they come to our show.
Fatal
totally.
fam. It's true.
Yep.
Guys got to come to LA and play a show
We
one of
actually
these
both
days.
used to live in California.
It's
Oh
true.
yeah, we're at.
Yeah. I lived in Oceanside and Vista.
Nice. I'm from San Diego.
Oh,
So, yeah, there you
I
go.
was a little north of San Francisco in the Oakland area and the Bay Area.
Okay,
Yeah, Bay Point was my train to the city for grad school.
nice. Well, I hope you make it back here in some musical capacity.
Oh,
I'm
I'd
sure
yes.
love
I'm sure
that.
the
Wouldn't that
time
be
will
awesome?
come. Now I want to take a look. Obviously, we talked about music that's on its way, but I want to talk about like also sound and genre a little bit. Any chance of an experimentation? I know that you've found the song, but you're at the beginning of a
Hmm.
hopefully healthy and long career. So it gives you the opportunity to experiment and see like maybe we can go down different avenues. Have you talked about that?
Oh, yes. So this band is a remarkably eclectic group
Hmm.
in that
Nice.
everyone comes from a really just diverse background from a training perspective. So
Oh,
Joe, our lead guitarist, used to be the principal violin player for his youth orchestra and
wow.
plays violin parts in his
Yeah.
own solo material. So if you get a minute, check out Gelling. That's his
Okay.
solo project. And there's a song called Dueling Dragons that begins with a violin solo that he wrote, and it's really virtuosic and really like just dancey and fun. And
For
James,
oh yeah, James.
James is a jazzer, and he plays at a church in Detroit with all these old jazzers, and he's the youngest guy there. It's really an interesting, remarkable thing to
That's
see.
kind of
We're
wild,
we're
actually.
truly
Oh
like a
yeah,
band of
Yeah.
misfits. It's quite funny. Like I love playing in this band and I love playing metal, but metal is not my favorite genre of
Sure.
music.
No,
So
I hear that a lot. I've interviewed other metal bands, and it's like they equate it to like comedians, for example. Comedians don't go home and watch stand-up specials; they go home and watch murder documentaries.
yeah,
Like
like
the complete opposite of
yes,
what
I
it is.
love
Yeah,
like indie and alternative music. I
sure.
love very lyrically heavy and sound music, like
Yeah.
songs that have something to say. And
Mhm.
I think that, translates into our
oh
band.
yeah.
I want our
Yeah.
lyrics to say something. So we all kind of pull those little misfit things.
Having her with that perspective is great because she doesn't let me get away with bad lyrics.
It's true.
When I was
Come
writing
on.
Taking Back the Name,
No.
I was like running it by her, and there was a line about something about hyperbole, and she's like, "Don't do that.
Don't put
No
that
one
word in
uses
that
that
song.
word.
Sure,
What's
sure.
wrong with you? People are gonna like stop listening because it sounded like you're making up words."
But there needs to be an honesty in a band. Like
Oh
you're a
yeah, it's
band.
great.
It's always, I mean, it's nice having someone to make all the decisions, but if you don't have a no person, like
Right.
you're gonna spin out of control. So yeah, you gotta be there to keep them grounded. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's and in that way, it's been great and
Amazing.
really effective. And what I love about this group is nobody takes any of it personally.
Right.
When I play
Yeah.
a riff and Joe starts a solo, and I'm like, I'm not sure that works. He'll go, okay, and he'll rip a different solo. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
I mean,
Buddy's back.
hey buddy, so cute. Um, totally lost my train of
So
thought.
sorry.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
distracted by guts. It's not a big deal at all.
No, it's good. We
Um,
help each other grow because of that.
yeah,
Because we don't take anything personally.
totally.
We look at the band like a business and we all want to see it succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So to go back to my original question, yes, we will probably see some experimentation.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
keep your eyes and ears peeled.
I
Love
mean,
it.
this machine is written in what, 12/4?
It's in 12/8, so
12,
it's
12
got
8?
that. It feels like a um, it feels like old dance fiddle music. It's got this really cool triplet groove.
Sweet.
It's
And we've got this
yeah,
song called From
vibes.
a Distance that's based off of folk music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, there's going to be a ton of stuff. That's why I'm saying, like, you
Oh,
never know what you're going
sorry
to
about
get.
that.
You're going to turn the album on and you're going to be like, oh, okay. Oh,
Love
that's
it.
different.
Can't wait for more. So you mentioned that you played a show last night and that you've got a show coming up tomorrow. I'd love for you to plug some of your other shows, if any, that are coming up. We want to know what's going on.
So, right now, those are the only two that we have scheduled.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
We typically try to do like one show a month.
Yeah,
Nice.
and especially now that we're talking about doing a full album, that
Mhm.
Yeah,
we're
that's
making
a
space for it.
Yeah, we're
gotta
gonna
put your head
be
down.
at the studio a lot because we already recorded the drum tracks, so we definitely want to get the other people over there to do their parts. That way, time isn't between
Yeah.
steps, basically.
So we opened for Nonpoint, which is one of my absolute favorite new metal bands, last
Awesome.
night, and tomorrow we're sharing the stage with a good friend of the band. Their group is called Stage Drive,
Cool.
and actually later this month, Katie here is a hot commodity. She'll be covering the bass part for
Mhm.
Stage Drive on July
Nice.
30th. So it's not going to be no shows.
Okay.
It's just we're going to be all for her on Stage Drive. It's going to be
Love
great.
that. Very cool. I've got a couple more questions for you guys. I want to know, what does the next year look like? You've mentioned an album, which I
Mhm.
hope comes out within the next year. But what are like some lofty goals that you've set up for yourself?
Lofty goals. We want to do at least two singles here in the near term,
Mhm.
whatever that means. I'm
I
not
would say
really
before
quite
the end
sure.
of the year,
Uh,
and then to just hit with the album next year.
At the beginning of this year, our YouTube channel hit 100,000 views on an aggregate, which is
Nice.
we're really proud of
It's
that. But we'd
huge.
like to get that again.
Yeah.
We got 16,000 views on the lyric video, which has more likes than all of our other lyric videos combined, which is insane to me.
I know, it's good to see that growth,
Yeah.
going in the right direction.
The lofty goal is to take that momentum and at least make that much progress this year.
Yeah.
I think we're going to invest some money into making a music video too,
Totally.
giving them actual real life music videos out there.
No, it's great to have content that looks like that. And it's like, what could be more fun than making a music video?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you. Basically, I want to know, for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
That's a hard
That
question.
is a great question.
Just gotta
That is a really great
end
question.
it with a bang.
This music is for open minds and open hearts.
Yep, there's something for everybody here.
It's not for it is for those who are open to the experience of sharing in experience, this like the depths, the soul crushing life that we all are going through. That's what we're about. That's what we're singing about. That's what we're going like. That's all of it.
Pretty much 90% of the songs that we have are written about true life experiences that one of us has gone through or we've gone through together. There's only about a 10% that are written about fictional ideas or like,
I mean, even then,
Opportunity Lost, Tim wrote about the Mars rover, just like what is like the viewpoint of this Mars rover, dying and being alone. And
what if it was sentient? Like when that moment, it's like my batteries are getting low. I'm like, oh, sad robot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a song about it.
But a lot of the songs are about true events that people could connect to. So there is truly something there. We've been through so much and we've experienced so much as people just before we met and even after we met that there's pretty much something for everybody.
I had a composition teacher in undergraduate school who talked about this notion of the distinction between art and entertainment. And there are a lot of really great bands that are entertainers, and that's pretty much where the subject ends, right? Kiss has amazing performance, but they don't have a whole lot to say just off the top of my head. But when you compare that to a band that really dives into things that are like Tool,
like Blue October
or Blue October. These are bands that they go beneath the surface. They dig into something deeper. And that's what our mission is, to be the art.
I love that. I think everything you just said is a fantastic answer.
Thanks.
And I'd really like to thank you guys so much again for taking the time. Please let me plug your music for you once again. The song is called Devil's Little Helper. Band is called Fatal Conceit. And I just want to sincerely thank you again for taking the time. And we're going to have links so people can listen and follow along and share and do all that fun stuff. But I am personally invested at this point. I'm really looking forward to more, especially on the experimentation route.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome.
A lot of fun.
I've had a blast. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. I hope to speak soon.
Oh, you too. Have a good weekend.
Take care. You too.
Good fight.
Yeah, man. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.